Rishishi. What's going on, everybody? Ryan from 90s Anime Nostalgia, and I'm continuing with my Kaiju number 8 series, and I'm picking back up where I left off last week, and today we're in double digits and we're on chapter 10. And just a little housekeeping before I get going. If you could make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And make sure to hit that bell for all the notifications so you know what's coming up next. So that covers that, but I have to cover the next thing, that there's definitely going to be spoilers coming up. So if you want to be spoiler free, then go ahead and just leave now. I really appreciate your time. All right, let's pitter patter and get at her. So when we're looking at chapter 10 of Kaiju number 8, we're treated to a nice little cover page right out of the gate, and we see that above. Beautiful little 3rd Division captain right there, Mina Ishiro. And this is where we're treated to a flashback of Kafka thanking Ichikawa for all the encouragement at the end of the exam. And this is where Ichikawa starts rethinking this as Kafka's just freaking out. And it turns around that Kafka starts blaming Ichikawa for basically encouraging me and pumping up my big head on that one. This is when we hear the door open and a man enters looking for Kafka and Ichikawa. So it all comes down to this, and Kafka starts thinking about his goal of standing beside Mina Ishiro. And we pan back over to the graduation ceremony where Shinomiya is the valedictorian. We see the 3rd Division captain thanking her for her efforts, and because of her, all 27 people passed and there was no victims. Shinomiya starts feeling guilty and shameful because she didn't do that. Those words aren't for her, those are for Kafka. Shinomiya starts thinking back at that smile, and she starts thinking of that the audacity that he had. It's humiliating. I'm not gonna forgive him for this, and I need to ask him about that monster form. Homegirl's just mad she got ghosted. But then that's when we see none other than Kafka joining halfway through the ceremony. Everybody in the meeting's shocked. And that's when we see Kafka himself has failed the exam. And so it pans back over to the headquarters where everybody's deciding what we're going to do. And Vice Captain says, I'm going to take him up. The Vice Captain says that even with all of the low scores, he showed something special out on the battlefield. Kafka killed the comedy section. The VC says he's going to train him as a cadet in his platoon, though. The next panel gives us everybody that graduated and were treated to a ceremony with the 3rd Division head captain. She discusses the rise in kaiju subjugations, but she also lets them know that by going out into the missions, your life isn't guaranteed anymore. The captain asks them to lend me your strength, and if you do that, I will be your sword and shield in battle. In the moment full of emotion, we see Kafka say, I'm soon going to be right by your side, with everybody shocked. Mina says, Kafka Hibino? That's 100 push-ups for speaking without permission and disrespecting your superior. The Vice Captain starts laughing, thinking that, Commander, wasn't that just a little light for you? As he recognizes something as she walks by. Was she laughing just now? The Vice Captain goes on to explain that the comedy section is important because his job's so grim. He then points out that while a 9.8 monster appeared, other person's readings disappeared. And that person is Kafka Hibino. That's when things get dark because we start seeing with all these abnormalities, there's something off about him. The Vice Captain says, I'm going to keep him by my side, and the chapter ends with him thinking, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Wow, so that was a great chapter. So what are your thoughts so far? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. I want to know how you're liking this manga so far, because remember, we got the anime dropping in early 24. So let's get prepared for everything. But like always, y'all be good, be rad, and be weeby.